Hey guys, Andrew here for Simply Sports. So, as the NFL draft gets closer and closer, I wanted to do a video on what I believe is a very underrated and deep position group. The wide receivers in this draft class are a very fast group, and at the NFL Combine, the average recorded 40-yard dash time was under 4.5 seconds for the first time in NFL history. So, obviously, speed doesn't necessarily translate to being good at football. It literally just means that we're evaluating a fast group of pass catchers. That being said, I still think there's a series of high-level starters, especially in the top 5 of this year's draft. While it doesn't seem like there's a surefire prospect, like an A.J. Green or Julio Jones, who were some of the first players drafted in their respective classes, there are a bunch of first and second round receivers and one extremely unique physical freak who I would 100% roll the dice on. So without further ado, here are my opinions on who I think are the best receivers in the 2019 NFL draft class. And the first receiver I want to talk about is N'Keal Harry. He's a junior out of Arizona State who really was highly touted coming into the 2018 season. At the Combine, he measured at 6'2.5", 228 pounds, and he posted above the 50th percentile for every physical measurable except his 40-yard dash time, which at 4.53 seconds was only slightly below average. So his 38.5-inch vertical ranks him in the 84th percentile for his position. And as I mentioned before, at 228 pounds, he's one of the heaviest receivers. And his weight and bench press rank in the 95th and 99th percentiles among prospective NFL receivers. So Harry was a 4-star recruit coming out of high school, and he's been productive ever since he stepped on the field at ASU. He's posted 18 total touchdowns and over 2,200 receiving yards in his sophomore and junior seasons alone. The main reason I'm so intrigued by Harry is because of how great he is at contested catches. So, I'll be honest, I was not impressed with Arizona State's quarterback, Manny Wilkins. I know that his numbers look fine, but on tape he frequently misplaced passes to Harry. He often misplaces receivers, and I think that he was a big contributor to N'Keal Harry having to make so many contested catches in the first place. If Harry was able to just get a little bit of separation from the defender, he was an absolute nightmare to guard. He's tall and such a natural jumper. He has extremely strong hands and a very tough physical body. There were so many plays I watched where the defense could have been called for pass interference, but N'Keal Harry just made the play anyways. He also has good play speed, meaning that if even the defense was being physical with him during his route, that contact rarely slowed him down. The second reason that I am really intrigued by Harry is that he's an extremely effective player once he gets the ball in his hands. Harry manufactured a lot of his production through screens, and this was a big part of ASU's offense. Because of Harry's downfield contested catch ability and the fact that he had just enough speed to threaten defensive backs, corners couldn't always stay right up on the line and press Harry. But even when they did, it often didn't matter in the screen game. At the college level, Harry imposed his will on his opposition. He was extremely difficult to tackle, even when defenders were given the opportunities to hit him when he had little momentum or wasn't even looking. When the ball was in his hands, he was instinctual and often made cuts and cutbacks at precisely the right times, leading to huge plays. At his best, Harry could be seen breaking multiple tackles, fighting for crucial first downs, making timely catches with defenders literally draped all over him. So, on to the negatives. At the NFL Combine, Harry didn't participate in a 3-cone drill or the 20-yard shuttle drills. And this wasn't by accident. Harry isn't a refined route runner, and he's honestly not exceptionally agile. I honestly think he's deficient in this area. Unlike his ability to find openings and creases in the defense when he actually had the ball in his hand, I don't believe that Harry often demonstrated a strong understanding of how he should set up defenders with his route running. I watched 8 complete game film tapes of Harry during my research for this video, across his 3 years as an Arizona State Sun Devil. The tape really showed that N'Keal Harry habitually struggles to separate from his defender. And this is my primary concern with him. His upper body was often stiff, and his feet often weren't very fast at the beginning of his routes. As a result, N'Keal Harry struggled in his production very close to the goal line and instead excelled when he had more open field at his disposal. And in the Pac-12, he isn't facing Greedy Williams or DeAndre Baker on a weekly basis. As a matter of fact, when he did face an elite cornerback or secondary, he struggled. Harry only had 5 catches for 20 yards and a 27-20 loss to Washington this previous year. Their starting safety, Taylor Rapp, and best cornerback, Byron Murphy, are also in this upcoming draft class. And they're both projected to be taken within the first 50 picks of the draft. The players that played against Harry during his worst game of his college career weren't particularly fast. Instead, they were long, tough, instinctual football players. Harry never got a bit of separation, and he wasn't breaking the first tackle as easily in this particular game. I personally think that Harry will struggle at the NFL level against exactly these types of players. Harry wants to either run over you after he catches the ball on a hitch or design screen, or run a seam route or double move towards the sideline. I believe that Harry is just too good to be completely negated by opposing defensive backs. However, his production at the next level will ultimately be determined by if he can improve his ability and agility as a route runner. Overall, I like the production and remarkable contested catch ability of N'Keal Harry, and I do believe in him. He was productive both as a blocker and receiver in college. Due to a lot of talent in this upcoming draft, I would feel more comfortable taking him in the second round instead of the first. His ability to separate worries me a lot, and I'm not sure how high his potential really is. However, if he can reach his potential, N'Keal is very similar to the Saints' Michael Thomas or the Eagles' Alshon Jeffrey. Thank you so much for watching and listening to this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for future content.